Welcome to Messaging Magic, Part 2, the 4 keys. There are 4 key components of your story that might convince a potentially new customer or client that you are just what they need. Here's where you'll want to take note. Number 1 is the struggle. That is, what have you personally been through? Again, refer back to our earlier activity where you listed the struggle that got you started in business. Number 2, then they need to hear your solution. And this is how you overcame the struggle. Now, this is preferably a simple step-by-step solution, and it's often an eye-opener. Number 3, next, they also need to be able to understand your journey, how it helped you, and how what you've learned, aka your solution, can potentially help them, and they need to be sold or shifted. Number 4, the final and key component in this process is they need to see and believe that you are indeed the expert to help them achieve that same super sexy success strategy that you've reached in your own life and on your business journey. And there's a bonus. The bonus is that you also need to walk them through the process of how they can connect with you to learn more. Should they call you, email you, visit your website, etc.? For example, I mentioned that as an example of my story of struggle to success is what you can use as the perfect speech or story model. Let me give you a little bit more detail into my story so that you will know what your story could potentially look like as it unfolds. It took me 15 years to graduate college. 11 years ago, I had 2 corporate jobs downsized. I became homeless, living in my car, and sleeping on the floors and couches of family and friends. I got tired of getting fired or being let go. I no longer wanted anyone to make that decision for me, whether I got paid or not, how much I made or not, or how many hours I worked ever again. Plus, it was dark when I went in and it was getting dark when I got off. So I barely had enough time to live my life. Then 9 years ago, as I'm leaving divorce court, walking down the hall to get on the elevator to leave, I got on the elevator, pushed the down button, and as the doors began to close, I see my now ex-husband for the last time. My phone rings. I answer, and it's my cousin telling me my mom had just passed. She was 47 years old. I went back home to handle her affairs and ended up relocating just a few minutes outside of where I grew up. Now, the death, the divorce, the downsize, and the dropout, all of those circumstances, and of course, the distance from a life that was dissolving was all a business building blessing in disguise. During this time, I decided to pursue being a full-time entrepreneur. I was able to sit with myself and what all had recently occurred in my life, aka my story. I grew deeper and stronger in my relationship with God and reconnected to my purpose, serving the world through teaching. I had a few years of business owning experience from a previous life, and so I added what I knew along with information I uncovered while researching my new endeavor, which showed me that 70% of women small business owners make less than $25,000 per year. So I spent some time networking and connecting with women in business, and I started to understand why. It was because of what they were saying, or more specifically and more importantly, it was what they were leaving out or not saying about what they did in their business and why. They didn't have messaging magic. So I coach women entrepreneurs using the messaging magic formula. And messaging magic, of course, is one of my courses where we get to hear your story from a potential client's perspective, like how you turned your obstacles into opportunities and why you feel called to share your story or your message, and finding the proof in your success to help you keep repeating the process. We also talk about how to effectively tell your story in less time for the best results. Now, it's the way for you to tell your story and leave a legacy with your words. Here's where it will make all the difference in how you reach your next customer or client. You'll learn to invest time in creating and sharing your story and applying it to your marketing message. Again, which saves you time from sharing your magic with the wrong people. And it makes it easier to connect with your community of clients so that when you find them or vice versa, they're attracted to you because you're speaking each other's language. So that's the wrap up of my story, but it goes into a bit more detail using the perfect speech model. So again, refer back to part 1 of the Messaging Magic Masterclass, where I shared the beginning of the perfect speech model. Now, the 4 key areas to always keep in mind when you're answering the question of what do you do? And you're selling you during this process. But remember, the 4 parts of the Messaging Magic formula starts with your story of struggle, and it ends with your story of success. So this story can and sometimes should be about 30 seconds or less, similar to an elevator speech. But it's a brief moment where you get to share who you are and what you do with potential prospects. And these are people that you would like to do business with. So keep that in mind. Now, here's your activity. And I also want you to include your own personal examples too. First, let's go over what's your number 1 struggle. And feel free to glance back at your answers from the previous section where you wrote down what you were dealing with in your business in the beginning of your business. But specifically in this question, I want to know what's your number 1 struggle. And this is where you tell me what you have personally been through as it relates to leading you into what you currently do in your business. So again, number 1, what's your number 1 struggle? Feel free to glance back at your answers from the previous section, but be specific in this question and let me know what have you personally been through as it relates to leading you into what you do in your business currently. And in this same question, feel free to put your past or present clients in a professional example. Number 2, list your client's struggle. Where are they when they meet you? Think back to where you were when you started your business, but put yourself in your client's place. And in this answer, I want you to list your client's struggle. Also, feel free to include your own personal example and or a client's example as well. Number 3, what would you say is your number 1 solution as it relates to how you overcame and how you can now help your clients overcome their current situation step by step? And again, this is where you're breaking down exactly how you brought yourself out of your struggle. Number 4, what was your stopping or sticking point at the beginning of your business journey? Again, what was your stopping or sticking point at the beginning of your business journey? And also go ahead and include a personal example for you and or a client that you help get unstuck. Number 5, what is your client's current stopping or sticking point as it relates to why they currently are where they are and they're not moving forward in their life or in their business? And then feel free to put another example here. Number 6, what are the top 3 reasons a client needs your help right now? These are called your motivators. And in your workbook, if you're following along, you see that there are blank spaces for reason 1, reason 2, and reason 3. So here, put your top 3 motivators, because these are the things that are going to keep you going when you get to a point where you may be thinking about stopping. These are the 3 reasons that your client needs your help right now. They're going to motivate you to keep going. Number 7, what's your and your previous client's sexy success? Again, what's your and your previous client's sexy success? And what that means is, how are you the expert who can help them obtain their own success too? Again, what's your and your previous client's sexy success? Meaning, how are you the expert who can help them obtain their own success too? Yours, your clients, and your potential customers. So remember, part of your story is telling about your success, your previous and present client success, and then you're addressing that super sexy success to potential customers and clients. But start off with answering those questions and then break down what has your success And what has been your success regarding what you do in your business? So let me say that again. What has your success regarding what you do in your business looked like? Make a note of that and feel free to include your personal and professional examples as well. The second part of that question, I want you to think about what has your current and previous clients' success looked like? Again, what has been your current and previous client's success? And feel free to include a personal and a professional example there as well. And then finally, in that same question, we are on part A, part B, and now part C. What could be your potential client's success? Think about that. What could be your potential client or customer's success? And give an example of what that could look like, both personally and professionally. Number 8, what are the benefits of your past, present, and potential clients? What benefits that they'll receive from working with you? Again, what are the benefits your past, present, and potential clients receive from working with you? And I also would like for you to include a personal and a professional example with your answers. Number 9, what is the main outcome or result that you can guarantee your clients will receive from working with you? Again, what is the main outcome or result that you can guarantee your clients will receive by working with you? And feel free to include another personal and or professional example with your answer. And number 10, what's for sale? Again, I ask you, what is for sale? This sums up your business journey, what you've learned and how it helped you, and it packages it up for sale via a consultation, a one-on-one service, etc. So think about what's being sold in your solution. What have you learned that could potentially help new clients? That's what you're selling, and that's going to be your answer to this question. And finally, number 11, how would you like for potential new clients to connect with you and learn more about how they can work with you? What actions do you want them to take? Again, do you want them to email you, phone call, website, online calendar booking, online application, etc.? There are many ways that you can answer this question. So again, number 11 is how would you like for potential new clients to connect with you and learn more about how they can work with you? And there's a bonus. In your workbook, you will see the spaces for this next activity. So fill in your answers to these statements. This is your introduction, your speech, your summary of your services, and it shows you how to share about who you are and what you do in your business, but how to get it out quickly. So in the activity, you have my name is, I am a, and you enter your title here. I help or assist, and you enter your customer type here. Who's dealing with, and you enter the struggle or sticking point. By hiring or doing business with me, my clients, and you list the benefit here. And then my services help with. So here's the remix to my original Messaging Magic message to the masses. I would say something like, my name is Andrika J. Austin. I am a messaging magician. I help women small business owners convert conversations to clients, cash, checks, and credit cards. So when you start to share your story, you get away from a title, a tagline, or a bio. You start selling you. Your goal should be to be your business brand. Now let's discuss how you can target your message and help bring those who you can serve best closer to you. Because what you say about what you do will inspire people to work with you. That rhymes, right? And it'll encourage them to take action. Now, the story of you as it relates to how you came to do what you do in your business, this is your present day truth. It's what will impact your clients most and help them change their lives. It's your way to encourage, inspire, engage, support, and challenge the people you serve best. Now, as my $1 million mentor once said, people don't buy your services, they buy you. And this is all based on your personal experience. Now, because I'm a firm believer that you can only teach what you've been through, you can only sell by telling how your own product or service impacted your life and how it's changed the lives of others. Your story helps others who may want to work with you. It helps them see themselves and the obstacles, the challenges that they're currently facing and what they've been through or what they're currently going through. It shows them how you've been through it, along with how you can help them step by step. So your story makes you relatable. It also helps people to understand who you are. It makes them want to know more about you and potentially working with you in the very near future. So don't worry about sharing exactly how you can help them just yet, but they need to first understand and be sold on the experience of what it's like to get the results they seek and you provide by working with you. Remember, this is what it's like to get the results they seek. Remember, this is what they need, first and foremost, from you to hear how you're the answer to their prayers, from what you say you can do for them. This is considered the what in the what do you do. You'll get to the how of making it all happen later. So if you're one of the technical types who want to give all of the fill in the blank details of exactly how it is that you do what you do, and even dare to take people through the process, then this section is for you. Now, I have no doubt that you are smart and quite possibly great at what you do, but ask yourself, how has sharing all of these details in the initial conversation with a potential client helped you gain more business? I say this to encourage you to hold off on the how you do what you do and simply focus on the formula. Then give your listeners a call to action on what their next steps could or should be with working with you. Tell them what to do next. For example, schedule a phone call for a brief consultation, arrange a meeting, visit your website, sign up for your email list to learn more about your products or services, send you an email, give you a call, etc. Try this new approach to sharing about who you are and what you do in your business, and you'll see the immediate difference in potential client interest that you get on a regular basis. I'll tell you what I know. Sharing your struggle to the solution and selling them on your success equals instant results for you. Now it's time to get into action by sharing the message of why you do what you do, along with the benefits of working with you. It's time to share this over and over again with those who need and want to hear it. Even try it out on a few people that are close to you who can give you feedback. For example, your family, your friends, your loved ones. Ask them to critique you and your message to see if it was, number one, easy to understand, meaning clear. Number two, specific to who you want to help or serve, meaning focused. And number three, mentions the outcomes of working with you. For example, results. So again, you're looking for clarity, focus, and results. See if you can do this all in 30 seconds or less, and then have them time you. And no worries. Remember, progress is better than perfection. Someone had to tell me that. You can now go out immediately and use this at a local group or organizational meetings and at other networking events where you'll get a chance to briefly tell who you are, what you do, and even gain some potential interest. Remember, this struggle could link back to what you're doing now in your business. Let me say that again. Remember, this struggle should link back to what you're currently doing in your business and why you even started your business in the first place. This becomes your story, your message. This also goes into an activity I like to do with my coaching clients where I say, if Oprah called today, yes, Oprah, Queen of Talk, if Oprah called you today and invited you on her show, but you can only talk about how you got into doing the business that you do, what would you say? Again, if Oprah called you today and invited you on her show, but you could only talk about how you got into doing what you do in your business today, what would you say? So think back to what brought you into doing the business that you currently do right now. Whatever that first thought was that popped into your head and made you smile or even giggle a little bit with excitement, that's not only going to give you insight into the what in what you do, it also gives you insight on your topic of expertise. Plus, this should also be your next book title, blog post, or it can even be your next social media post. But most importantly, It should always link or lead back to what you currently do in your business and why you started it in the first place. When you learn how to tell your story of what you've been through, meaning your struggle, and how you've successfully overcome it, that hurdle, that struggle or challenge, that's again your struggle. You have to know how to do it in a quick and succinct way that doesn't bore people or bring up raw or negative emotions for you. But you want to begin doing what I call leaving a legacy with your words. Now, this is a story about how you've shared what others could pass on and retell their friends, their fans, and their followers that they think they should know about you and the transformational work that you do in your business. It makes your message easier to pass on, and it allows you to be sure that the right people who need to hear and want to hear your message or story will hear it, because now you know what to say. You know who needs to hear it, and you know how you'll make money from it. They'll pay you to tell them more from things like your workshops, your books, your speeches, your training videos, your coaching programs, and more. They'll tell you that they're ready to sign up. They're ready to buy. They're ready to pay you to hear even more about you and your story of the struggle to success. These are all places where you'll consistently plug your messaging into and consistently see the impact and influence that it will have on your income. You'll want to invest time in creating and sharing your story and applying it to your marketing message. Again, this saves you time from sharing your magic with the wrong people. And it'll make it easier to connect with your community of clients so that when you find them, or vice versa, they're attracted to you because you're speaking each other's language. So far, we've discussed your tough times, your challenges, your hurdles, and your struggles. We've talked about what to say when you're selling the concept of you being seen as the expert in your business and making more money because of what you've been through in your life and in your business on your journey. Now, this system features one of the juicier parts of being what I call the BOM, the BOM, which stands for the boss of me, and taking your business to the next level. It's also so much fun to do. The information that I'll share along with the assignment that you'll be focusing on during our time together will allow you to start and build on your foundation for running a successful business. Now that we know exactly the type of customer or client that's perfect for you, you'll be able to focus in on what to say to draw in those types of people around you and your business. People are inspired by your story. I'll tell you exactly how and why I know this coming up shortly. Much of the time, it's hearing the transparency of what it took you to get from where you are or where you were to where you are now. Despite the journey from where you were and everything you've been through, that will actually move and motivate prospects to work with you. They want to invest in your story. They want your step-by-step signature system of success. They want to know how you specifically went through and successfully came out of some problem, how you dealt with a certain situation and turned that obstacle into an opportunity in a way that shows them how they too can overcome. The journey of where your life has taken you or allowed you to go in some major important way, this has something to do with where you are right now in your business. For example, how you got there, why you do what you're currently doing, etc. It's your story, your truth, your motivation. It's also the story of the journey, the transparency of the truth, the challenge to change, the encouragement to engage, and the support to sustain that people are attracted to. They're attracted to you, they're attracted to your business, and they will need all of this to say yes and sign up to do business with you. So, for this assignment, I'm going to help you design and develop what I like to call your super sexy signature speech or story. Say that 3 times fast. It's a similar concept to the 30-second elevator speech, but it's sexier. It's that brief moment that you get to share who you are and what you do with potential prospects who might like to do business with you. There are 4 major components of this speech that might convince a potential new client or customer that you are just what they need. So take note. Number 1 is the struggle. What have you personally been through? Number 2, then they need to hear your solution. How have you overcome? preferably a simple step-by-step solution, and this is often the eye-opener. Number 3, they need to be able to understand your journey, how it helped you, and how what you've learned, which is your solution, can potentially help them, and they need to be sold. Number 4, they need to know that you are indeed the expert to help them achieve that same super sexy success that you've reached. And as a bonus, exactly how you can connect with them and they can connect with you to learn more. So if you've worked up to this point to lay the foundation of what you do and who you do it for, the steps to crafting and building upon your speech or story, this will help you plug in your findings to this super simple formula that I'll be sharing with you shortly. So get your journal, aka your workbooks, and all of the work that you've done up to this point, get it ready as we use your story to magnify your message, to market to the masses, and to make more money while doing so. Before we continue, here's the 3-part secret formula to developing your signature speech, plus a few extra special ingredients to help you make up your super sexy signature speech or story. Number 1 is part 1, and this is your problem, your struggle, your sticking point. That's where your customer or client might be right now, what they're going through in their life or in their business. Part 2 includes the benefits that come from working with you on this particular sticking point. And then part 3 is the overall solution, the main outcome, and the overall results that you can guarantee that they will receive from working with you. Now it's time to rehearse and soon reveal that new sexy signature speech or story that you've crafted from our previous sessions together. Remember, practice does not make perfect, but it sure does help. So I want to challenge you to share with a few of your favorite friends, fans, and followers for feedback. As you share and as you ask those you share it with, listen for clarity, confidence, conversational flow, where you share your speech just as naturally as you speak to someone else in a normal conversation. You don't want to sound stiff or like you're reading a script or reciting from memory, like you're saying an Easter speech or something. You don't want people to know that you've been trying to memorize it. Also, make sure that you hear the heart of your message, meaning this is who I am and this is what I do. Make sure that it's hardcore, heart-centered, focused. Make sure it has great delivery and make it fun, full of your own voice and personality. Tweak your speech as you need to and share it as often as you go out and speak, and share your spiel about what you do and for whom. And I'll see you in part 3 of the Messaging Magic Masterclass.